be the key, but a mistake has put him out. 2 mistakes really might have knocked him out of this championship for good.
Villapoto got around Chris Blos on the 38, the Hart and Huntington Dodgeback bike. Here's Stewart. Reed now trying to get around him as well, and does so.
Reed was so fiery at the beginning of this main, and now his lap times have dropped off a little bit. It just seemed like he lost a little bit of focus, and he's been second here. He's 3 seconds off of our leader, Ryan Villapoto. Take a look at him going through the whoops. And you just wonder if those changes to the bike there with Tutu Motorsports and Factory Honda getting together and really giving Chad Reed, I believe what you'd call a hybrid between the factory bike and his own race bike. So far, so good, but not enough to catch Villapoto. But Reed did turn 0.3 of a second faster that last lap around than your leader here, Ryan Villapoto. So with 7 to go, can Chad Reed dig deep and gain those valuable points for the win? He desperately needs to win. Allow Villapoto to score these points.
Kevin's been interesting. Of the 4 riders battling for this championship, Reed, Stewart, and Dungey all with Monster Energy Supercross class championships. Villapoto looking for his first, yet it's the one without the class championship here in Monster Energy Supercross that hasn't made the mistakes.
Exactly.
Are you surprised?
Well, this season, I've never seen a season where there's been so many crashes by the points leaders and all that, and then everyone's still in it. You know, it's just crazy.
There's last year's Salt Lake City winner. Snowing heavy last year, Kevin Windham. Windham running in 6th. Stewart is up to 12th, by the way. He's now 25 points back.
Take a look at the 62. Here's Jake Weimer.
Canary on that 62. Weimer, we talked about him back from those injuries. Villapoto's teammate. Jake running in 8th.
And he was hoping for a top 10. I think he'd be happy with this considering his qualifying effort.
Tommy Hahn is behind him in 9th on the 12.
I just can't explain to you how tough it would be to step into a 17-race championship with 2 to go after everyone else has raced the whole championship. Their bike's dialed in. They're all in the groove. And Weimer, no matter how good he's been in lights Supercross, this is his first Supercross event.
You know, normally in a season, you would say that a rider like Jake Weimer coming back from that injury and getting a top 10 in his first race back would be a great candidate for Brett Michaels' Rock Hard Ride Hard Award. But boy, it's going to be so hard not to give it to a guy like Ryan Villapoto coming back from that horribly broken leg, and he could end up winning the championship this year. What a story it has been.
There's great stories all the way through, Ralph, but look where we're getting here. You see this long shot. Stewart just jumping a quad in there.
Let's show you the problems that have happened to James Stewart at Houston. Getting together with Chad Reed at Reliance Stadium. And then that crash there with Thomas. And then, of course, Atlanta, the big coming together with Reed. And then this was the nasty one at Daytona that we talked about, where he bounced back from that while leading. He went all the way back to 9th. Tonight, down while leading again. And then crashing a second time as he goes over the bars right here.
Wow, but Stewart is back up and racing in this main event, and with 3 to go, he's actually found a line here through this section last lap around that's incredibly fast, and now he's putting the pressure to try to unlap himself with Chad Reed, but it's also pushing Reed up to the back of Villapoto. So with a little less than 3 to go, this race is not over.
Problem for Stewart is he's not going to get any points by unlapping himself. He's got to catch Nick Way, who's about 4 seconds in front of him to get any more points.
I'm telling you, Ralph, this race is tightening up here. The top 2, Reed is within 1.5 seconds of Villapoto right now with a lap and a half to go, and a couple lappers just in front.
Here's Villapoto, the Monster Energy Kawasaki rider, looking to wrap up a championship. He's got Nick Way in front of him. There's Reed, the Australian, on that Honda, which he told me earlier today is much lighter, and he loves the way it rides. He can see Villapoto.
Here goes Reed. He blasts the whoops. Villapoto gets caught out with Nick Way.
Here
That's
they
a lapper.
White flag, 1 to go. Reed has got to dig down if he wants to tighten this championship. As they run right now, 9 points separate the two. Working their way around the final lap here at the track inside Rice-Eccles Stadium. The greatest season of Supercross continuing. It's been an unbelievable season. How will it finish here tonight? Will Reed get win number 2? Will Villapoto continue to extend his points lead?
Here we go. Desperation for Reed. Villapoto catches some lappers. Reed's blasting. It's going to be too little, too late.
Villapoto to the checkered flag. He lights the candles and extends his points lead here tonight. Mike Williamson, his mechanic, thrilled that they've got another win in 2011. Ryan Villapoto with a kiss from his fiancée, Kristen. Let's take a look at our Toyota replay of the race, and this was the pass that maybe will lock up the championship, Jeff.
Yeah, Villapoto's so strong early on here. Just such an aggressive move. Just hammered the whoops, and you could tell at that point that he was really in control and ready to go to the front of this main event.
Well, Mike Fisher, the team manager, told me earlier that Ryan said to him he felt like winning tonight was imperative towards him clinching the championship. He came out and did exactly what he set out to do.
He's the one guy that didn't really necessarily need to win, but he really put his stamp on this title with 1 to go.
Here's Aaron.
Imperative it was, and he did just that. Ryan, I have witnessed you win 5 different races before tonight, but I've never seen you smile quite so hard. Do you get 1 wink of sleep between now and Vegas with 9 points ahead?
Well, it's definitely got that last win. You know, I'd like to win Vegas too, but I got one more win, and you know, it feels great. Now we can go into Vegas, just, you know, getting through the weekend. Still want to ride good. I mean, if the win's there, I'll take it. But couldn't have done with the whole Monster Energy Pro Circuit or Monster Energy Kawasaki vans. Renthal Dunlop 1, you know, Specialized, Falcon tires, Volcom Oakley goggles, you know, just everybody.
A little overwhelmed at the moment. What was going through your mind when you saw James Stewart down and in some trouble?
You know, when I was behind Chad, you know, I was like, don't fall into a groove. You're gonna have to put a push in here pretty soon. And I was able to get around him, and then I seen James. He wasn't pulling away, and then he just slid out there. And then actually, when I was going up to the finish line, I see him go over the bars. You know, I seen it, and I was like, okay, well, I don't really have to worry about him right now. So just Chad.
Congratulations on such a tremendous effort tonight.
Well, he's got a 9-point lead. We'll hear from more of the top points riders when we come back here in Utah. Podium activities continue here at Rice-Eccles Stadium, and Aaron is with the guy who's now 9 points behind Villapoto and the best shot at trying to catch him at Vegas next week.
That's right, and the look of frustration and disappointment written all over his face. Chad, you'd said it was like bumper bikes right off the start, but we noticed that you fell off the pace halfway through and that it seemed like you made a late race charge. What happened from your perspective?
No, I just wasn't riding aggressive enough at the beginning, and Brian passed me, and then I just had to regroup and try and get back after it. The whoops was where I was losing all the ground. You know, I was too inconsistent in him, and towards the end I figured him out, and I was starting to get back on him, but too little, too late. And man, just huge thanks to all the guys on the team. I'm pumped. We've been working hard the last 2 weeks. Thanks for Honda for the extra support, and all the guys at PC. Man, Mitch, Bones, they're being supportive all year long. I'm pumped. Bell Ray, Fox Shift, Down Point Star, just everybody that's helping me out all year long, and going to Vegas and just ride aggressive, man. I don't mind losing. I just hate losing when I know I'm better than that.
Tate's birthday today. Your son turned 1 year old. What did that mean to have him here watching you tonight?
No, it's awesome. You know, he hasn't been at a lot of races this year, and I feel like I let the little guy down. I wanted to win for him tonight, but you know, there's always next week. They'll be in Vegas, so looking forward to that. And man, just huge thanks to Al and obviously my son Tate. And it's gonna be a good week. Just try winning Vegas.
9 points down, 1 race left to go. It's far from over.
Yeah, here's how it shapes up, Aaron. And he's got a 9-point lead, and Ryan talked about, I can just go in here, and you can see he's feeling a little bit more like he could just ease up a little bit. But Jeff, we can also go back to Jacksonville where he didn't make the main, so anything is still possible.
Yeah, and what's really odd is in the last 4 races before this one, Villopoto had the worst average finish. But like I always say, you win the race, there's just something about that 25 points that really just propels you right to the front, and he finds himself with a 9-point lead, which is comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd rather be 9 up than 9 back.
You got that right.
Here's Aaron.
The defending champion just 12 points down with 1 race left to go. Ryan, what goes through your mind from now till next weekend in Vegas?
Basically, just got to win. Tonight got off to a pretty decent start. Coming into the main event, got together with my suspension guy, Adam, and my mechanic, Goose, and made a couple tire decisions. Track was pretty tricky, but ended up doing a little bit of a suspension, stiffened it up a little, but just couldn't make up time. I don't know what the deal was. I felt awesome. I just couldn't go, but absolutely going to go into Vegas, give it a good shot, give it a good run, and hope for the best and have heart.
Well, here is the graphic that tells the story on James Stewart this season. 5 wins, 9 podiums, but it's those 3 finishes of 10th or worse that have cost him a shot at his 3rd Monster Energy Supercross Championship. Let's take you back to what happened earlier tonight while leading, which would have been huge. He goes down once, but twice. And here's what James had to say after.
Oh, yeah, just came in the corner, washed the front end, and then got up and then just went over the handlebars and the whoops. It was tough all night, and I'm not even, I've tried all year long and had plenty of opportunities, and unfortunately, just, what can I say? I just want to thank all my team, Samuel, Yamaha, Red Bull, everybody. We'll be back next year. I want to congratulate Ryan and all those guys. They're real good. Just threw it away, and unfortunately, that one hurt. That was the championship. But hey, you know what? I'm gonna walk away with my head up high, and come back next year and try to hand it to them then. But like I say, I've tried everything I got, and I'll walk away with like a man and accept defeat and go from there.
An incredibly difficult night tonight for James Stewart as he sees his quest for title number 3 take a serious blow. For Jeff Emig and Aaron Bates, I'm Ralph Shaheen. So long from Salt Lake City, where Ryan Villopoto is your winner. CBS Sports coverage of Supercross continues next Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern when we look back at the most competitive season in history with the Monster Energy AMA Supercross and FIM World Championship Year in Review show. Coming up next, Lucas Oil Off-Road Pro 2 and Pro 4 from Firebird, Arizona. At 2 Eastern, it's a PGA of America special, Sunrise to Sunset, a PGA professional's life. Then at 3 Eastern, the PGA Tour on CBS continues with live final round coverage of the Zurich Classic of New Orleans.